So I was thinking about just talking about a single fragrance from the brand of Khadlaj that I'm absolutely in love with. And this is legitimately the best one from the brand that I would tell everybody is a must-have from that. But I was thinking to myself, why just stop at one? Let's talk about like 5. I don't even know how many. Let's talk about some bangers from Khadlaj.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about bangers from Khadlaj. I wanted to just really talk about this fragrance in itself, but in a moment of impromptu, which is generally speaking, this is how I structure my content. So help me God, I don't do scripts. There's no way it would be an absolute nightmare. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about what I wanted to talk about initially, which is Secret Musk by Khadlaj, and other bangers that I don't think I really emphasized much on. It's been a pretty busy month, so I think a lot of these fragrances kind of flew under the radar. I do a lot of short content on TikTok, it's AROMATIX_, and on YouTube and Instagram short. I have AROMATIX Extra and just a bunch of little shorts. I'll have all this stuff come up. Check me out if you're interested, and you definitely would not have missed some of these. But in the light of doing so much content, which I absolutely love, I probably missed a couple of these. And today we're going to be talking about all of those. These are absolute banger fragrances that are worth mentioning, otherwise we wouldn't even be here. Topic of discussion today is going to be Secret Musk. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, this is a clone of Arabian's Tonka. And Arabian's Tonka is a phenomenal fragrance from the brand, and this is one that I will always recommend and have in my collection. This is a fragrance that does saffron, sugar, oud, and maybe a little bit of this incense. I'm not sure if it actually has the note of incense, but whenever I smell DNAs like this, that's the vibe that I'm in. It's like bakhur vibes. Extremely unisex, compliment king, compliment galore. This, like I said, it's not really that close of a fragrance to it, but it smells absolutely beautiful. It smells niche level stuff, and if people love percentages, so if I were to give it a percent, I would say more so around like 85-90%. So technically not an actual clone, more so of like a twist or an inspired by it, and we're going to emphasize why I think that's the case. So for the most part with Montal's Arabian Tonka, what really stands out the most is going to be the sugar, saffron, and the oud combination, to me personally. And the majority of the difference for this fragrance versus Secret Musk is going to be the quality of the saffron. So the saffron comes off a bit spicy and metallic with a little bit of leathery undertones, but for the most part it's spicy and metallic. And it's a bit more emphasized in this one because of the fact that you get a higher quality style of accord. Not necessarily a higher quality style of oils, because I feel like I've said this for a lot of times, but a lot of people are watching or tuning in for the first time because these fragrances, they're more affordable. The accords might be shifted or changed, or they might tone down a certain ingredient because of the cost. And to be able to be more cost effectively and give you a scent that still smells good, they might have to tone down certain ingredients, naturals or synthetics. And that's the case with this one. They still have to follow regulations regardless of Dubai brands, etc. And this is where most of the difference is going to lay. So it's the saffron basically. So now we're talking about Secret Musk. With Secret Musk, you're going to get saffron, you're going to get ambery, vanilla, sugar, and a little bit of that incense and oud, except you're going to get less saffron and more vanilla. And in my opinion, it doesn't it doesn't do it, I don't want to say a favor because I still love the DNA, but it still does something beautiful. It allows it to still be something that's worth it. It's absolutely worth the pickup. For under 50 bucks, this is a must-have from Khadlaj. It's oud, saffron, it's also sugar and incense. It does seem like it's a bit more syrupy on the vanilla nature, whereas the saffron is going to shine on that fragrance. This is more so of a vanilla bomb. And in fact, Arabian Tonka doesn't even have vanilla, so it's more of a sugar than anything of vanilla. It's lighter, so it's a bit more effervescent, so it's a bit lighter and more diffusive, whereas this one, to my nose, adds vanilla, so that's more correct, if you will. But to me, it gives me an accord of vanilla, at least the Arabian Tonka, but not so much. With this, it's absolutely there. So does that mean it's not as diffusive? Does that mean it's not as projecting? You would think, but no, that's not the case. This actually lasted all day to the next day on clothing, and I got a compliment 5 hours in. I even rocked it to the gym. Arabian Tonka is a fragrance I've worn to the gym, and not only have I worn it to the gym, but people I know wear it to the gym, and I smell them, and it smells freaking amazing. The thing is with this scent profile, although it projects really well, and we're talking about both of these because they both project really well, the projection in the scent cloud isn't overbearing, and that's exactly what I was told. You smell like vanilla, it's not too much, but it smells really good. And whenever my friend wears Arabian's Tonka, it's never overpowering either. So a beautiful fragrance. Long story short, you guys, this smells niche level stuff. It does have differences, and for those that like percentages, I wouldn't say it's more than about like 90% and maybe even 85%. Although the Arabian's Tonka doesn't have vanilla, this one does seem like it adds a little bit of a vanilla, and it smells better and lasts longer than anything else on the market now. Yes, we have the Nuit Paris and Noir d'Arabie and all this other stuff, but for hands down, this is the better one out of all of them. A lot of the other ones are still pretty good, and some of the other ones actually get the saffron a little bit more, but this is the best. I find Khadlaj to be doing more so style twists or inspos, and I love that. And so I say keep on doing that. That's amazing. Personally, I like twists more than anything, but for those that are wondering as to like percentages, etc., etc., it's still relatively close, okay? A 10 out of 10, secret must. So let's talk about one that I don't think I spoke on because I don't really care. I'm being honest. I don't really care for Megamere. And in my opinion, this is a clone of Megamere. Maybe not as beastly stuff, but it still has that aquatic, mineral, metallic vibe. And that's where it loses me, the metallic vibe. And I've been on record saying this a lot. It smells good on a lot of people, but it's just not for me. The metallic nature of certain fragrances, although certain saffrons are okay and can come off metallic, they're okay with me. But petitgrain and maybe whatever is used also in this gives me a headache. So although this one, I personally wouldn't wear, it still smells really good. And it smells, it's strong. I sprayed it on a tester strip and I could smell it fill the entire room. And I was like, okay, dude, like I gotta gas this room out because I'm going to get, like, I'm not for it. But if you're looking for that scent profile, then this is definitely that good. Not much more to say about it, but I just wanted to make sure that I talked about it in case I didn't actually make a full video. The next one that is definitely worth talking about as well, and this is one that I believe I spoke of. This is called Karus Blue Spice. In my opinion, inspired by imagination. It's got a lot of neroli, the freshness, and the hefty dose of tea. One of the better quality ones. It's not a spitting image, and that's why it's more of like a, you know, 85 to also 85%. But what differs from this and, you know, something like imagination is their signature cologne, their note of cologne, this musky nature, this watery accord that you get. That's just a refinement you're not going to get with a lot of these cheapies. However, for the price and all things considered, you guys, still a decent sacrifice that you're going to make if you're on a budget. For me personally, if I like it that much, I'll go for the original. But taking a compromise, this is absolutely still worth the compromise if you're in love with that DNA. For me though, I don't really like imagination, so take it for what you will. I still find it to be one of the best cheapies that in my opinion get pretty damn close. Take it for what you will because in the DNA in itself, I don't really enjoy it. Last but not least, an absolute must-have from the brand. Gentlemen, this is Shiyaaka Blue. This is their flagship fragrance. If every brand had a fragrance like that fragrance, this is Khadlaj, that fragrance. An excellent blue all-year banger that lasts 8+ hours, sometimes to the next day on clothing. Do not miss out on this one because it's really good. Older, but still, it's timeless. It's timeless. In my opinion, this is like a mashup of Bleu de Chanel meets Invictus Aqua. It's the best of all aquatic and blue fragrance world. I mean, wait a minute, we're not talking about fragrance world. A banger, a must-have in every man's collection, especially for under 25 bucks sometimes. If you don't, you guys, trust me, thank me later on this one. It's really good. There's one more fragrance I want to talk about from the brand, and I think this is an absolute underrated gem. This is called Reif. Reif is better than any other Sauvage Elixir, Inspo, or whatever you want to call it on the market for me personally. I mean, this, it's not like an actual clone to me. It's more vanillic. It tones down some of that licorice. But if you think of like Essed, etc., this is better. It's longer lasting, it's stronger. And the only problem is the atomizer. And yeah, I'm going to say problem because although ooh, that looks really freaking cool. It's actually a problem because a lot of people out there are missing a lot of that mist. So when you spray it like that, I want you guys to check out how much of the mist I'll actually get on me. So I'm sure I lost a lot of the mist, but that's what ended up happening with these pressure. Wow, that's strong. But that's what actually ends up happening with these style of atomizers. So if you ever have a pressurized atomizer, just spray it closer, gentlemen. And yeah, it's gonna puddle a little bit, but that's the sacrifice you're gonna make. And you'll see that this is the best one. Genuinely the best one that does that Sauvage Elixir style with more vanilla. There are plenty more bangers like Epoque Artistique, which is definitely a 10 out of 10, and other fragrances from Khadlaj, but I'll save that for another future top 10 Khadlaj video. I really just want to tell you guys that Secret Musk, if you like the whole Arabian Tonka DNA, is an absolute must-have, and some of the other underrated bangers in my collection from the brand as well. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if it was of any value, make sure to subscribe on whichever side it's on. And until the next one, peace.